covering in the indigenous language of Quechua. A secret compartment, but it's a secret compartment within a secret compartment. So these are the ancient traditions of the wood craftsmen of the school of Catania art. Now, after a long day of sightseeing in the hot Ecuadorian heat, I decided to take a refreshing break and have some ice cream. And Ecuador actually has a lot of pride in its ice cream. It invented a whole new way to make ice cream with a copper pole called a pila. But here I am with Mauricio, who's invented himself 120 new flavors, including local fruits like higo or guanabana. But my personal favorites are wine and mojito. Una mojito, por favor.
We're not going to do the childhood videos. Just put the slide up of Jakara's baby. His baby, that's it.
And this is the Jakara video. Is that amazing? Oh, yes, I forgot about this. We're going to add this in, because this was yesterday, and it is awesome. That's awesome. So Brian has now passed the local test. You can totally move your Aloha shirt. You can tell people you want to Punahou. It's totally fine. You'll totally pass. It'll blend in. So I think that's it. There's some embarrassing photos on the slideshow. And with that, I will turn it over to Jakara.
So I would like to invite Brian's parents, Lisa and Scott Gillis, to the stage. Thank you so much for coming and for being our special guest on the show today. I just have a question for you. I hear you...
We don't know these questions, but...
Not at all. I hear you guys know of a guy named Brian Gillis, is that right? You've maybe heard of him once or twice?
We met him a long time ago.
Actually, I think we created him.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Lisa, I hear that Brian really loves Disneyland. Can you give us any insights into how he feels about that?
Oh my gosh, yes. So he does. When Brian was 4 years old, we went over to our cousin's house, and the cousin, do you guys remember the big wheel? Remember when kids used to ride the big wheels, right? And so his cousin ran over his foot, and it got broken, and we went to Disneyland. He was in a cast in a wheelchair, and all he wanted to see was Mickey Mouse. And so we waited in line to see Mickey Mouse, and when Brian got up to his turn, Mickey's helper said, okay, he's going away, Mickey's going, and Brian broke out in tears. And so I said, please, can you please help the child in the wheelchair? And so they went and got Mickey, and Mickey came back and greeted Brian personally. So that was the Mickey Mouse story.
But when he was, how old? 16, 17, 18, we went back to Disneyland, and he wanted to see Mickey again to relive that moment. So as a near adult, when Mickey came out, he gave him a big hug and wouldn't let go, and actually cried again. So.
Oh, that's so wonderful. And Scott, I'm actually curious, I know Brian is a person of great determination. When he sets his will to something, he will get it done. And I heard this all started with a slippy slide.
Right, yeah, we have a video of it. We don't have it here with us, I doubt it, but kind of difficult to explain. But the slip and slide, the little plastic thing you put on the water and you go down the hill in the front yard. And what he would do is he was quite young, he would get on it and slide, and then he would kind of scooch off to the side into the grass, and he would be frustrated, and he would go back when we had these videos, and then he would try it again. I think it might have been a dozen times until he finally was able to slip the entire way, and he comes up in the camera and he goes, I did it! That's kind of the attitude he's had throughout his life. He's not going to quit until he gets it done.
That's right.
I love it. Well, thank you both for being such amazing supporters of Brian's creativity and passion, and for being inspirations of that yourselves. Let's give it up for the people who created Brian. That was good.
I have a couple questions for Stan and Mel if they can come up.
Uh-oh. There you go. Easy one, easy one.
So before we start, I gotta say a couple words. Last night, Brian and Jakara took our family to Poly Culture Center. I don't know if you ever went there before. I went there like 30 years ago, and it was just a great time we had there. When we were having dinner, the show was going and they asked for volunteers, and Brian was one of the first to get on stage, and he was in the middle, and I said, my God, I want to take a picture of this. So I saw Brian do his thing, and I said, oh my God, Jakara, you're going to marry that guy? But, I mean, he's such a good sport. He was trying to take the guy's job away, you know? But one of the jokes they had that I learned, when you go to Palm Beach Culture Center, you go to all these different countries, and like Tahiti, New Zealand, and etc. So whenever a tour guide goes, this is what we did, it's a great time, it's, what do you say? One more time, right? No, you say, Samoa, like Samoa, like Samoa, I thought that was funny. Yeah, but anyway, thank you for the nice evening last night.
Thank you.
I gotta sit down.
Well, thank you, Stan. I actually have a question for you. My question is, do you remember why Jakara chose to go to Iolani instead of Punahou?
Ooh, Punahou, yes.
Sorry, Tyler. There you are.
Well, I clearly remember in our days, we said, let's try Punahou and let's try Iolani. And fortunately, Jakara got accepted to both schools. And we had to make a decision. And the only way we could make a decision was to talk to my wife, Mel. And we had to meet with both counselors of both schools. Well, my wife doesn't know about Iolani and Punahou, but I fully know that Iolani was more a scholastic school, while Punahou was more independent. Melanie pulled for Pono and I pulled for Iolani, but I won in the end. It took convincing, and Jakara was most welcome at Iolani, and she was very successful there, and she loved the school.
But she loved the name.
Yeah, I think there's a story about the name.
She loved the Iolani.
Oh, okay.
Maybe Melanie can add a little color to the commentary.
I mean, it was a big decision, but it really was Jakara's decision in the end because she thought Iolani just was the best name ever. That came about.
I heard the version of events that Jakara didn't want to go to Punahou because it sounded like poo. That's the version I heard, which is why I asked that question. I'm now questioning. But I think we should all trust major educational decisions to 4-year-olds. It's a very smart idea.
But they're both good schools.
Yes, they are. I mean, I don't know. Since I got a lot of ragging from Tyler about Harvard, I think I'd say Iolani is a lot better than Punahou. That's just I'm gonna go ahead and just stick my finger into that debate for a second. All right. So final question of the evening, and that is Melanie. Do you remember what happened when Jakara tried to find the perfect peach?
Oh my goodness. We were on Long Island and it's peach picking. So they give you a basket, which you actually purchase. So we each had a basket. And we were there for like 2 hours. And here's Chandler, he's picking all the green ones because he just wanted to get out of there. And Jakara was amongst all the trees and she emerges and she goes, after 2.5 hours, I found the perfect peach. We were ready to go home already. And all she had was one perfect peach. And that's how it, and we let her keep the peach. But we sent her back in for more.
Amazing. Well, why don't we get Jakara to come up for a second, and we're going to hand the microphone to Stan to close out the evening. But first, Jakara and I just want to say thank you one more time for all of your time today. That's all the entertainment you get from us, but hopefully it gives you a glimpse of our lives and what we've really experienced together as a couple, and have a better understanding of the marriage ahead of us, and really the ways in which we want to honor the legacy of Jakara right here, including me trying to hula last night. So I'm glad you guys enjoyed that as well.
Thank you. Just thank you. It's so beautiful to see you all here, and we really, really appreciate your role in our lives.
And as a final step, stay there. Mom and Dad, can you come up? And if we could just get a huge round of applause to both our parents. And a huge round of applause for all you guys for coming today. Thank you. All right, Stan, it's all yours.
Thank you, Tyler. Thank you, Jakara and Brian. Thank you, Claudia, for the beautiful pictures with Chandler and John, and all my volunteers putting all this together. We have not finished yet. There's a couple of things that we have planned to give away. Number one, the seashell game, to be followed by the centerpiece. So has everyone got their piece of paper, your best guess, the number of seashells with you? Yeah, you only got one guess, don't put multiple numbers. I have the answer here, so I just found out this a little while ago, so I couldn't tell anybody how many there was. But anyone has not got a piece of paper and made a guess? If not, you can go in the back. Can someone get the prize? Oh, was it? Okay. So, the rules of this game is you can't go over the total number of seashells. Let's say it's 100 shells and you guess 101, and somebody had 95. 101, you can't win. Okay, so you can't exceed. So, if anybody, let's see, how should I start this? Everybody stand up. How's that? Okay. If you guess more than 1,000, you went over. Anybody guess more than 1,000? 900.
Whatever.
800. Oh, see? Wow. 700. Oh, okay. Anybody guess 600 and over? Oh. Anybody over 500? Okay. Anybody guess less than 100? 200. 200 and under. 300. 400. Okay. Who guessed between 400 to 500? Yeah, getting close. Anybody guess 450 and below? Oh, you gotta sit down. Somebody's standing. 460 and below. Oh, how many got left? Who's left? 4? Okay. 470 and below. 480 and below. I'm putting this right here. Anybody guess more than 485? Anybody guess 484? Oh, who's left? 2? 483. 483 is the winner. Anybody have 483?
So what is your number?
Who has 482? 485. Oh, you went over, I'm sorry. 481. Oh, wait a minute, let's start over. Okay, anybody guess between 451 to 483? Only one person? Oh, okay, well, you're the winner. Congratulations. There was a total of 483 shells. Yeah, 483. Congratulations, Ashley. Okay. Now we got the good game coming up. It's the centerpiece. The centerpiece was, again, personally made by my wife, Melanie. The name of the game is called Pass the Buck. Now, I don't know if everybody played Pass the Buck, but I'm going to need one volunteer from each table who has $1. First person to get the $1, stand up and show it to me. One person with $1. Okay, $1 there. We need one volunteer from each table. If you have the $1, please stand up. I want to see who you are. Stand up. $1. Okay, I don't see everybody standing up each table. You got $1.
Hey, I'm gonna go.
Good, got one here.
I take this.
Okay, here. Glenn's table. Who got the $1? If you don't have $1, you can't play. How about 20 bucks? No. Does everybody have $1? Well, this table here.
No, she's got it.
Who has $1? Yes, stand up.
She won. She won already. Stan, she won. Gina won.
You won already?
Yeah.
How about my rules? You give me the $1.
No more $1.
Here you go.
Okay, so everybody got $1, right? Okay, good. So the rules of the game is pass the buck. Okay, it's like musical chairs, but we're gonna pass the buck around clockwise. Clockwise is this way, right? So the music's gonna start, and once the music starts, you pass it to the right, and etc. Keep on until the music stops. And when the music stops, the person holding the $1 keeps standing. Okay? So you can sit down. Whoever got to sit down. When the music starts, pass it to the right, clockwise. Okay? Or to the left? Okay. Do it up again. Correction. To the left for clockwise. Let the music begin. We got the music coming on very shortly. Okay, pass it clockwise, to the left, keep on going. You can't hold the dollar. Come on, Dad, pass it. There you go. Pass the bill, pass the dollar bill, pass the buck, pass the buck. Whoa, that's good. Okay, so who has the dollar? Please stand up.
Yeah. Hold it.
Everybody up?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe that's me.
Okay, so if you got the dollar in your hand, congratulations. You won $1. $5? No, $1.
I didn't win anything.
No. Well, congratulations, you got your own money back then. Okay. So whoever has $1, you won $1. Now, the person that gave the $1, stand up. Congratulations, you won the prize. And under the mat, you get another $1, which is your money you get back, okay? That's the game, pass the buck. Okay, so I hope everyone had a great time. You had a great time? Good. I know that, this is, when I first talked to Brian and Jakara, I said, this party's for you, and I just want to make sure that you can share with everyone who you are, and I think they did a great job. Thank you, Brian Jakara. And thank you to all my volunteers. Again, did everyone get the parking validated? If not, come see me. Again, we go to the pay station, you got 30 minutes to exit. Other than that, enjoy your rest of the day, and let's pull for the UH Warriors doing tonight. Thank you very much.